Okay. 2-3, day 1. Okay, we just spent 2 days graphing your data, putting it in tables, different kinds of graphs. Now we want to talk about a number to describe a data set. One number to describe the whole great big group of numbers.
3.
No.
8.
You know this stuff.
0.
These are called measures
Theta of units. Theta.
of central
Angle.
tendency.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Tendency, what tends to happen. Okay, me as a teacher and you as a student, I have 9 weeks worth of grades sitting in front of me. I have to give 1 grade to describe all of those grades that you gave me in 9 weeks. What do I use?
Average.
I use an average. What's the technical term for average?
Median.
Mean.
Mean.
Okay,
Ooh, for
that's one of them.
you use the highest grade.
No. There are 3 measures of central tendency to use. I use the average or the mean. Most teachers do use an average or a mean, and most often that's what's used.
Mean, median, and mode.
Oh, yeah. Mean. Mean, well, it's going to get very challenging on day 2 when we do weighted means. Measures of central, so there's 3 numbers you can use to describe a data set. Mean is the first one. It is the average. All right, in statistics, we use symbols, Greek letters again, to describe these things. And they have 2 different symbols for mean. One talks about the mean if you use your entire population, and one works if you're using just a sample. So, for population mean, the symbol is a lowercase mu. It looks like a little lowercase u. That is mu. And how do you get an average? What do you do?
Add them all together and then divide by them all.
There it is. Add them all together. Remember the Greek symbol that says add them all up from advanced algebra?
Plus.
Add them all up. Sigma.
Sigma theta.
Add up all of your x's.
Is something going to be under that?
Yep. Divide by the number in the population. So x is, add up all your x's, n is the number in the population.
This is how you rate your x's, right?
Yeah, yeah. Sample mean,
Wait, is that an N underneath that?
that represents how many were in your population. Okay, the symbol changes to x bar, but the formula doesn't. You still add up all of your values and divide by how many you had. Add them all up. And they'll use lowercase n because we're working with a sample instead of a population. But it's still, add them up, divide by how many you have. That's just the symbol to represent sample mean. It's the average from the sample. It's the average from the sample.
Is there a reason you made the X fancy on population mean?
Nope, Nope, I don't know why that happened.
So it's you fancy. So it should be.
Doesn't have to be. Shouldn't be.
Can you explain it to me?
Which one do you want me to explain?
All of it.
This is just average. We're going to do it in a minute. If I have a list of 10 numbers and I want the average, this says add up all 10 numbers, divide by 10. This says the same thing, add up all your numbers, divide by 10. But now I want to know, was that 10 numbers, was that a population, or was that from a sample? That's all. Okay, the second measure of central tendency is median. What's a median value?
The middle.
The middle. Wouldn't that be nice if I gave you if I lined up all your grades and gave you the middle one?
Yes.
Would you like that?
No. It depends on what my grades are. I mean, because
Yeah.
we'd all get C's, pretty much. No.
If you have all, if you have all A's,
or
you're
A,
getting
A, 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 B, B, F, go in the middle and you still get A. Yeah, but you still probably get an A anyway, the average grade. You get
Okay, it's the middle value in an ordered set. What do I mean by order?
Numerical.
Numerical order. What if there's an even set of numbers there? What if there were only 10 numbers? How do I find the middle of 10 numbers?
Add together the two middle ones and
You
divide by 2.
average the two middle ones together. You've done this before, right? This is not...
Why?
So if the set has an even number of data values, average the two middle ones. Well, that would be obnoxious. All right. And then the third measure of central tendency is mode. What is mode?
Is the one that occurs most often.
The value that occurs most often. Not every data set will have a mode. If I have each data value only once, there's no mode there. So mode doesn't apply to all data sets, where mean and median do. But mode is the only one you can use for qualitative data. Remember, qualitative data is words. I can't average words together. So this is the only measure.
She said I can.
Oh, I can? For the only measure for qualitative data.
Do we do range?
That's in section 4.
Oh.
Those are measures. Those are measures of variation.
So I'm ahead.
These are measures of central tendency. Yes.
I'm too advanced.
Okay. Before we get to these three things, we want to talk about what's called an outlier. Okay. This is not a measure of central tendency. Nope. That's not a Q either. That's an O. An outlier. That's not a Q. Is a data value that is far removed from the other values. Later on, I'm going to give you a formula that tells you how far away you have to be an outlier, but for now it's just going to be obvious. So, are you ready for our first example?
No, come from the page. I just have it in my...
Why is that?
She's gonna argue it out.
Okay, got your calculators handy?
I'm paying attention.
I'm ready.
Okay, first example.
No, put it back, put it back.
No, I will not. There's plenty of time.
Data value that is far removed from the other value.
If you want to waste your time talking, too bad. Okay, we are going to find the mean, median, and mode age for, this is sample ages from a college class. So we'll find the mean, median, and mode age for the sample. I'm not going to write all of these numbers down, so it's going to be best if you just kind of listen and type them in.
I know that might be hard for some people.
Okay, are you ready? I'll turn my, in case you have to look. Yep, we're going to put them in a list. So go to a list and clear it out.
Did you suggest writing
Nope, we're not gonna write them down, just type.
How do we know what our examples
Because you're gonna do enough of them in the homework, I guess. Well, I'm gonna write down the steps on the calculator, but it'll be all good. You'll know what to do here. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, everybody ready to type? Okay, 20, 22, 20, 22, 20, 22,
Swear to God.
20, 23,
Ooh.
20, 23, 20, 23, 21, 23, 21, 24, 21, 24, 21, 65.
Outlier.
The outlier. I did have a class at Northern like this. It was he was a retired physician, doctor. He's in this math class and like, you know, gray hair, almost bald. I'm like, what are you doing here? You know, all of us 20-somethings in there, and he's like, he was doing math because he was afraid of getting Alzheimer's. He says, you keep your mind working. He was a doctor, did enough reading on it, so he's in there doing all this math stuff just to save his brain. I'm like, good for you. So it does happen. You might get some old people in these classes.
Okay, so we
Okay.
can first put them in ascending
Okay,
order.
you could put them in order because that'll give us our median. So let's put them in order. Quit.
What happened?
Stat, sort, list 1. How many numbers did we put in here? Let's see, go on to the last number. You said 20 numbers we put in? Oops, darn it. 20 numbers. So we want the average of which two? What's going to be the middle two numbers? 10 and 11. You want to average your 10th and 11th.
21.5.
So the 10th number was 21. So we had 20 ages. So to get the median, we're going to average the 10th and the 11th. So 21 plus 22, divide by 2. 21.5 is the median. Okay, you know how to average. You add them up, you divide by how many. The calculator, the stats we're going to do, I'm not going to make you do that by hand. I'm going to show you where to go to have the calculator do that adding and dividing right away. So for mean, we're going to let the calculator do the work all the time. And I'm going to tell you where to go right now. I'm going to quit and get out of here. You're going to go to list. Let's write the steps down. List, let's do it. List. Then go over to math. And look at what's there. Actually, two things. Mean and median are there. We want mean. Oh, list is above your stat key in yellow. So second stat will be list.
Whoa, it's like all the answers.
So then it's mean. And then you just have to tell it which list you want to find the mean of. And we want the mean of list 1. So 23.75. And then mode, there is no mode on here. You have to actually look at the list and see what the mode is.
I think it's 20.
I'm thinking you are correct.
Yeah.
6 20s. Yep. So 20 is the mode. Okay, which of those numbers do you really think best describes the average age in this class? Do you think one's better than any others?
No.
What? The median's the middle number. I had 20 numbers lined up. Think of 20 marbles lined up. I want you to pick the middle one. Is there a middle one if there's 20 numbers there? No. Okay. So we had to actually make a middle one. Okay, do you think, like I said, which age do you think best describes overall what's happening in this particular class? You think one of these is better than the rest?
No. Oh, yes, the mean is the best one.
You think mean's the best? Do you think
Yeah,
this is 20, almost 24 years old? Take a look at that data. How many people are at least 24 years old? There were two 24-year-olds and that 65-year-old. So 3 out of the 20 are up around this age. The rest are all younger. I'm thinking one of these would be better. Probably the median in this case, because
I was thinking the mode.
right in here, because you do have a lot of people that are older than 20 in there. Over half the class is over 20. If I had to guess, I would say this is the best one. What's screwing this thing up? What's skewing it to that high end?
That's 65.
That 65-year-old. An outlier can skew your data greatly. Let's delete the outlier and redo the mean, just to see how much it changes it. Throw them out of there. Get that smart guy out of there. So go back to Stat, Edit, go down to the bottom, delete him out, redo the mean now without the outlier.
How do you do that?
Go back to List, over to Math, make it redo the mean.
Wait, what? How do you take off the 60?
I hit delete. I put my cursor on it and I hit delete.
What was the second to last, number?
24? There were two 24-year-olds in the class.
That was the last two?
Yep.
Oh, and 21.6.
Yeah, now it's 21.6. So look at how much that one person skewed the mean. So the mean without the 65-year-old came up 21.6 years as the average. And I think that's a much better average. So it seems like if you couldn't throw out your outlier, you'd want to go with your median instead of your mean. All right, let's see what else I have for you. No. What do you mean there's more answers for the mean? What are you talking about?
There's like all 4 of them, and there's really more.
Yes. I wanted with the outlier. I should probably do, let's do this. Let's call this with the outlier. Let's do the other two too. Yeah. And now let's do without the outlier. Oh. I'm only going to write 2 more things down. Median and mode. What's the mode? Is the mode going to change because I threw that 65-year-old out? What's the mode going to be? Still going to stay 20. I still have a bunch of 20-year-olds. So the mode is not impacted at all by an outlier. The median's going to shift. Now I've only got 19 people that I'm using. So where's the middle of 19 at? Which person's going to be my middle?
21.
That 10th one. Because you'll have 9 below, 9 above. So the 10th one's the middle. And how old was that 10th one? 21.
Man, that's 65 earlier.
Yeah, so the outlier definitely impacts the mean the most. Mode doesn't get touched by the outlier. Okay, that was the easy stuff.
So we're done, right?
Oh no, we got to challenge you today. You got to have one challenge in the day.
That's tomorrow's challenge.
Yes. Weighted means. This is where I do a weighted mean in here.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was, but we're going to do a little bit. Just one. Just so you can practice it a little bit. Got to give you something to complain about. Can't make the whole day easy. All right, a weighted mean. I do a weighted average in here. Your homework, it's all grouped together and averaged, but I only count that 20% of your quarter grade. The quizzes and tests, they're all averaged together, but I make that 80% of your quarter grade. Your class rank is a weighted ranking. It's 75% is your GPA, 25% is your ACT. So you are impacted by these, so how are they calculated? Your 75% is GPA, and 25% is your ACT. And we're actually going to do one so you can see what Mr. Downey does down there and See, I always teach this, and then last year, did you hear all that snafu that happened last year?
No. The athletic conditioning stuff, or no?
No, it was, they made a mistake down in the office. They missed, because you get to keep taking the ACT, and somebody missed one of the scores, but because they knew how to figure out the weighted stuff, they knew there was a mistake made, went down, it knocked, you guys didn't hear that?
No.
Oh yeah, the top 10 was announced.
Yeah.
Oh no, this isn't the top 10, this one's out, someone else is in.
Yep.
It was ugly. So, and only because they knew how to do it from this class. They're like, oh, something's not right, something's not right. Sure enough, they had a mistake down there, so.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's
Hi.
like the magical treatment.
Oh, here it is, top 10. Oh, no, just kidding. Yeah, not good.
It's like saying,
Yeah, how would you like that? That would be rough. I agree.
hey, maybe I should calculate mine. I'm probably higher.
Probably not.
What's your ACT?
When not all data values carry the same weight. So how does that work then? Here's the formula. X bar is an average, remember? You're going to add up I think I'm going to say it in words instead of symbols.
I like that.
The average for each category.
Wait, is that called X bar?
Yep. Or score multiplied by the weight. So it's the average for each category or score multiplied by the weight. And you're going to add all of those up at the end.
Is that all divided by n?
No, that's going to be it.
Wait, is it category or score?
Yeah, because it depends on, like, I have categories, but maybe like our semester grades, it's your quarter 1, that's 1 score, times quarter 2 times exam. Each of those is just its own individual grade. So it could be a whole category that you have to average up, or it could be just 1 score that's already there.
I just didn't know if it was category.
Nope, it's category or score. Whatever the case might be. We'll do one of each so you can see what's going on. Can I get rid of this?
Nope.
Not yet.
I thought you were putting something underneath it, so I wrote it.
I was going to, because you divide by the weights, but what should your weights add up to?
Yeah.
20%, 80%.
Oh.
Okay.
75%, 25%, 100%. What's the 100% as a number?
360.
1. 100% is 1. You divide by 1, does it change anything?
No.
Would you ever have your weights not add up to 100%? I don't think so. But yeah, they do have
After the book.
divided by the weight. No, I don't even, that's just dumb. It's not even needed. So, unless you don't add up to 100%, but most people would. So let's try one.
I feel like an explorer, though, just describing it.
Okay, so example 2. We'll do 1 grade in here, and then we'll do your class rank. Okay. So let's see, for me, I count the homework category 20% of your grade. Your quiz and tests is 80% of your grade. So let's do a sample student. Let's see.
Do me.
All right, Kenley got an 80 today in her homework. She got 100 yesterday. We'll give her 100, and we'll give her a 90. We'll give her 4 homework grades. Those are homework grades. Quiz grades, quiz tests. Let's give her 90 on a test.
That's real nice. Good for you.
I got an 82 on the other one.
82.
I've never gotten a C on a quiz.
Okay, we'll go there. We'll just go 2. We'll keep it simple. Or do you want a third one in there?
Yeah, one more.
Wow.
Do 100.
Do 100. Okay. All right. So we've got 2 categories. So if I look at my formula, I need the average for each category multiplied by the weight. So, I need my homework, or she needs her homework average. So what's the homework average going to be? How do I get that average?
Add all together.
Yeah, I wouldn't bother going to the list. I would just add them up and divide by 4. What's her homework average going to be? 92.5, I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, it is.
And now we need her quiz test average.
At 90.7.
90.7. Okay, so now we have the averages. To do the weighted average now, what am I supposed to do?
Multiply by the weight.
Multiply by the weight and add them together. So, what's the homework average going to get multiplied by? What's its weight?
0.2.
0.2. And the quiz test weight? 0.8. And then we're going to add those two results together.
I got
Let's see, 90.7 times 0.8. Add those together. She's got a 91.06.
Yes, she does. I had a really good 80 on my test.
I don't
know. On my homework. This today.
I don't know what I gave you.
Yeah, you-
Okay, let's quickly do one with the class rank. Class rank. So this time there's only 2 scores. There's your 25% is your ACT, and 75% is your GPA.
Do me.
Okay, what do you got for an ACT?
I have 22.
22 on the ACT. And your GPA?
3.8.
3.80. Okay. These are not, I need the average for each category or score. These are not averages, these are actually raw scores. How can I turn those scores into averages? What do you get a 22 out of?
36? 5. 4. 34. 5.
36.
I want to say 36 also.
36.
I think 36 is the best. So I need to get an ACT average. It's 22 out of 36, and we can leave it as a fraction. What's the GPA average? What did you get a 3.8 out of? 4.0. Okay, so I've got them as fractions, but what do I do now? After I have the average, what does my formula say to do?
Multiply by the weight.
Multiply by the weight. So what's my weight for my ACT? 0.25. 0.75. Did you get 0.8653? And then what Mr. Downey does is he multiplies that by 1,000 so that he doesn't have that decimal in there to screw him up. So what he's saying is if you get a 36 out of 36 and you get a 4.0 GPA, your score would be 1,000, and then it falls into place. So he's you don't have to, because we can put decimals in order just as well as we can put whole numbers in order. But yeah, this would be your score out of a possible 1. But that's what he would put them in numerical order then after that. You want to try to compare to another person to see how things change?
No.
No, okay. Just see if you're interested. All right, your assignment then.
Said yes.
Thanks for asking for it.
Oh yeah, you might care. Where are we at? 2-3, page 62. I've got 1 through 4. The weighted ones will give you the most challenge because I don't know if I did enough of those yet, because they're not all just like that.